And we'll come to start in a seated position today. So the legs can be crossed. You can sit on a cushion, or you can sit on a bolster or a block. Taking the backs of the hands onto the knees so the palms can be open. Taking one roll of the shoulders backwards. Closing the eyes. Taking a big inhale through the nose. And then exhale, sighing it out of the mouth. Again, big inhale through the nose. Exhale, sighing it out of the mouth. One last time, inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. And close the lips. Feel the fluidity of the breath. How the inhale simply changes to the exhale. And just following that breath for a few moments, connecting to this fluidity, our water element, enhancing our ability to just go with the flow. To enjoy life, even at a time where the world feels so unsteady, or work feels really busy. Just really engaging with that breath, the in, the out. Maybe you want to spread the fingers so the palms are open. And just deepening the breath. The world is in a constant state of change, and learning to accept this is really important to our well-being. It can make us more flexible and open-minded. When we go with the flow, we learn to find our own enjoyment, to live and let live, to be and let be. So with this in mind, using the next hour to just go with the flow, to step away from the past, to look away from the future, and to be present in the now. When you're ready, take one more roll of the shoulders backwards. Lift the chest. Allow the eyes to slowly open as you place the hands down in front of you, coming into tabletop. So getting there, whichever way you find comfortable. Having the fingers spread, hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Untucking the toes. Pressing the index finger, the thumb into the floor as you slowly begin to lift the chest. To look up towards the ceiling, pressing the floor away. And then slowly exhaling, tucking the tailbone, drawing the belly button in, bringing the chin into the chest as you spread into the shoulders. A few more times here, so inhaling, lifting the bottom, lifting the chest, looking up, the weight going forward, evenly distributed between the hands and the knees. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone, press all that air out, press into the shoulders, draw the chin in. 2 more times, just getting into that spine, giving the flow of the breath, looking up. There's the postman, hopefully he's gone now. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone, drawing the belly in, spreading the shoulders. One more time for luck, trying to move vertebrae by vertebrae. Gazing up towards the ceiling. Then exhaling, tucking that tailbone. Drawing the belly in, spreading through the shoulders, and then bringing the big toes together and the bottom towards the heels as we walk the hands out in front of us. Releasing the forehead down. Coming into our child's pose, so knowing we can always come back to this posture whenever we need to. Whenever we seek comfort, we just need a moment to catch our breath. When you're ready, walking the hands over to the left-hand side, keeping the bottom into the heels, reaching down towards the heels as we stretch into the right, so opening the right side of the body. Release the head still so the forehead finds the mat or the floor. Take that big inhale through the nose. Allow it to escape through the nose or through the mouth, wherever feels best for you today. And then walk the hands all the way over to the side, so creating a nice big rainbow, big arc, leaning into the left, releasing the head down, spreading through the fingers. And getting this opening sensation through the left side of the body. We spend so much of our day either standing up with the spine reasonably straight or sat down with that curve through the lower back. We very rarely open through the side of the body. That's why it's good when we get the chance just to stretch the rib cage, the lower back, the shoulder. One breath, inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back through center. One moment here, spreading through the fingers. And slowly making your way back to that tabletop position. Shoulders coming over the wrists, fingers still spread. Maybe tuck under the toes. And just send the bottom back to the heels for a moment. So stretching the arches of the feet, the big toe joint. Again, inhale, shoulders over the wrists. So tabletop, keeping the toes tucked. And then exhale, bringing those bottoms towards the heels. Good, 2 more times. Inhale, draw the belly in, lead through the crown of the head. Exhale, bottom to heels. 1 more time. Inhale, out. Exhale, back, stretch the big toe joint. And then begin to peel the knees off as you send the bottom up, downward facing dog. A few moments here to adjust, maybe taking the hands shoulder width, the feet hip distance. And then having a little wiggle through the legs, so pedaling your dog. Because it's all about going with the flow today. It is up to you if you find postures stationary or if you want to find a little bit of movement. I won't prescribe any movement, it's up to you what you want to do. If it's something completely different to what I've suggested, then that's okay. Remember, I'm just here to guide, to provide a skeleton, to offer you those safety precautions and those different options for you just to find what works well for your body. 1 more moment here, pedaling, maybe shaking the head. And then begin to pedal those feet all the way to the top of the mat, so coming into forward fold. Feet hip distance, knees nice and soft. Weight into the balls of the feet, look between the knees. Either keeping the hands here or wherever they fall. Or you can take hold of opposite elbow and opposite hand and just have a little swing from side to side. Coming back to that breath, that inhale and that exhale. Feeling the length of the spine. Those vertebrae floating in the synovial fluid, so just knowing that the body is 60% water, which is why sometimes it's really nice to find that little bit more fluidity, that little bit more motion within our practice. Slowly release the elbows. Place the left hand into the floor, bend the left knee as much as you need to make this happen, and then draw the right arm up towards the ceiling. Fingers spread. Nice stretch through the right leg, the right hamstring. And you can either keep the hand here, or you can take some nice big circles with that arm. So imagining we're creating a circle with the fingertips, or we're doing backstroke, just 3 times backwards. And then when you get to the top, 3 times forward, so that front crawl. Getting into the shoulder blade, into the shoulder joint. On the 3rd time, the hand comes down. Bend the right knee now, lengthen the left leg. So bending the knee as much as you need to get that hand towards the floor. Maybe it's just the fingertips. And then drawing that left bow and arrow up towards the ceiling. Gazing towards the hand. Feeling the stretch down the back of the leg. And then taking our nice big circles going backwards with the left arm. If this doesn't feel nice, that's okay. Just keep the hand up, maybe just circle the wrist. And then doing front crawl the other way around. Big circle. On that last one, both hands find the floor, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen the legs halfway, lift so the hands can either float off the floor or you can come to the thighs, extending again through that crown of the head. Then relaxing down. Soften the knees, begin to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming back to that sense of moving through honey, so really taking our time. Imagining we're working with the resistance of water. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands find prayer. And then the hands find heart center. Good, bring those heels and toes to kiss. If you feel a bit wobbly there, you can bring them hip distance. We're going to take the arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace all the fingers and then release the index finger across the thumb. So we have a little pistol or Kali Mudra. Inhale, reach towards the ceiling, lift up. Exhale, down to the right hand side. So creating a half moon, a crescent shape with the body. Looking up towards the ceiling. Squeezing the bottom, squeezing the heels of the hands together as if we're trying to crack a nut. One breath, come further down if you can, really squeezing the knees together if you've got the feet together. And then inhale through center. Try and touch the ceiling and then exhale down to the other side. Heels of the hands trying to kiss, don't worry if they're not there. Squeezing the inside thighs, squeezing the bottom gaze up. Keep lengthening through the arms. Pressing the hips to the right. One more breath, feeling that stretch through the belly, that stretch through the side of the body. And then inhale, come back through center. Just a little gentle back bend. We're going to press the hips forward, lift the chest to look up. Look towards the thumbs, and then see if we can just draw this tiny line on the ceiling with that pistol, with those index fingers. Releasing the head back if that feels good for you. And then we're going to draw that line forward across the top of the ceiling and then all the way down the wall in front of us as we fold forward. Release the pistol, inhale, halfway lift to that flat back again, long line, crown of the head to the bottom. Place the hands down. Step the feet back to plank and we'll just take 3 breaths here. So to make it easier, you can have the feet as wide, if not wider than the hips. Or to make it harder, you can bring the heels and the toes together, squeezing the inside of the thighs and drawing in through the lower belly. We'll take 2 more breaths because I chatted for that whole first long one. One more, inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to bend the knees, send the bottom back to the heels as you take the bottom up to downward facing dog. Heels drawing towards the floor and the knees can still be soft. Inhale, rise onto the balls of the feet, tuck the chin, and then just ripple back out to plank. Good. Again, bend the knees, send the bottom back to the heels and lift it up, down facing dog. So we're rippling like that wave. Inhale, rising up, trying to move vertebrae by vertebrae as we tip forward. The head being the last thing to uncoil, a little bit like our cat-cow. Then exhale, bend the knees and the bottom back. So warming up the shoulders, the spine, last time, the legs rolling out. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly draw the knees down towards the mat. Lengthen the right leg away. Draw that right hip down so the hips are square. We're going to slowly bring that knee to the nose as we exhale. And then inhale, lengthen it out. Keep the hips square and engage the glute, the bottom. 2 more times. Inhale, draw it in, curving through the spine like we do in cat. And then inhale, lengthen. Last time, the biggest time. Exhale, bring the knee forward. Flex the foot. You may need to come onto the left hand a bit more as you step that right foot forward into low lunge. When you're ready, setting the hands up towards the ceiling, relaxing the shoulders, and lifting the chest as we offer the chest up towards the sky. With that big open through the front of the body. Spreading the fingers. Take one more breath here. Inhale, try and lift up a little further. And then exhale, the hands either come down to the floor or 2 blocks if you've got them, as we slowly lengthen that right leg. So as I say lengthen, it may not be completely straight. In fact, I prefer to have a bend. So you get into the belly of the hamstring, the big muscle on the back of the leg. What we're looking at here is just making sure the bottom is going back to the back top corner of the room. The hips are square and the foot is flexed. Releasing the head, keeping the spine long. One more breath as we get into this hamstring. And then slowly stepping that right foot down into the floor. We're going to come into high lunge, so tuck under the toes. Lift the knee. If you need to, you can keep that knee down. If not, seeing if we can gather all the air in front of us, lift it up towards the ceiling. Spreading the shoulders, spreading the arms big wide as we look up towards the ceiling. And that back knee can be soft if that's more comfortable for your back. Or if you feel like you've got the flexibility in the hip, you can see if you can press the heel all the way back to the end of the mat. One breath, come down a little lower. Inhale. Exhale. Place the hands down onto the floor. Send the foot back to plank. 2 breaths this time. Inhaling through the nose, pressing the floor away. Exhaling. Again, inhale. Exhale. And then 2 ripples back. So we bend the knees, heel to bottom, lift the bottom high. And then inhale, ripple on out to plank. One more time, bend the knees, draw the belly in. Lift up. Inhale, out to plank. And then taking ourselves back to downward facing dog. So that can be back through that bent knee or just simply guiding the hips up. 3 breaths here, press the floor away. Exhale. Again, inhale, filling the belly, the backs of the body, the sides of the body. Exhale. Last time, big inhale. Exhale. So you bring those knees back down to the earth, back down to the mat, and then lengthen the left leg away. So you don't tuck the toe, or you can keep it tucked, whatever feels good for you. Again, we'll do everything on this side. So we'll exhale, bring the knee to the nose, curve through the spine. Then inhale to lengthen, point the toes. Again, exhale, spread through the fingers, pressing through the index finger and the thumb. Inhale, lengthen. Just looking after the wrists. Last time, nice and big. Exhale, flex the foot. Maybe the weight just tilts to the right as you step that foot forward. And then reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Send the hips down. A few nice deep breaths here. Going to offer that chest up towards the ceiling, also engaging the abdominals. Relaxing the shoulders, spreading through the fingers. One last breath. Inhale, try and reach up. Exhale, place the hands down either side of the foot. Lengthen the left leg, flex the foot. Draw that left hip back in space. And allow the head to melt down. I'm a bit anxious of how long my dog's going to stay quiet in the kitchen, so I'll go see if I can let him back in. Actually, no, I'll leave him in there, postman's still out. Few more moments here. Trying to lift the bottom up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, we'll transfer that weight forward into the left foot. Tuck under the toes, float the knee off, and then again gather all that air up towards the ceiling, inhaling into our high lunge. Remembering we can soften that back knee if we need to, engaging the quadricep, squeezing the glutes, and relaxing the shoulders. So we're reaching up, but the shoulders are staying drawing down through the back, giving space to the neck, space to the ears. We're reaching the fingers, inhale. Exhale, place the hands down. Step that left foot back to plank. One breath this time, inhale. Exhale. Soften the knees and the bottom back to the heels, lift it up, downward facing dog. One more, inhale, ripple out to plank. Exhale, bend the knees, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here now. Inhaling, exhaling, pressing the floor away. Last time, inhale, exhale. Beginning to lower the knees. Bring the bottom to the heels for a child's pose just for a few moments. Releasing the elbows, relaxing the forehead. Just going back into that breath, so connecting with the inhale and the exhale. How it smoothly rolls in and out like those waves of the ocean. And then when you're ready, come back out to tabletop. So you can go from here into your low lunge if you want to, lengthening that right leg out. Or you can tuck under the toes, lift the knee, downward facing dog. Bringing the heels and toes together as we swoop that right leg up. So you can do this, or you can do it on the hands and knees like we did before. But we're just going to take one big exhale, draw the knee to the nose, flex the foot, step that foot forward, lower the knee, and then reach the arms up towards the ceiling. We're just building on what we did before, maybe making it a little bit harder if you wish, or sticking with the original. Hands come down to frame the foot, half split now, so lengthening the leg. Bring that left hip and the right hip back, feeling the stretch into the lower back. Transitioning the weight forward, spreading the toes, lifting the knee as we swoop the arms up to high lunge. Relax through the shoulders. This time coming into our warrior one, so we draw the heel down to the floor, so we've got that 45-degree angle with the back leg. Toes going forward, front heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Then take the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Squeeze the heels of the hands together again as if we're trying to crack a nut. Take a big inhale as you look up towards the ceiling, open the chest. And then exhale, fold down into humble warrior. So the shoulders are going forward to the top of the mat. We're looking towards that back arch of the foot. And we're seeing if we can get the arms up and over the head. Feeling that stretch through the shoulders, through the right hamstring into the right glute. And also just taking a moment to maybe be grateful in our humble warrior. So just bowing down to whatever we are thankful for today. One breath, inhale. Exhale. As we inhale, lift the chest, look forward. Slowly release the hands without catapulting, swoop them up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, corkscrew open to warrior two. So bending the right leg. Reaching the arms in opposite directions, the shoulders now down the back. One breath here as we look over that middle finger. Trying to be grounded through the feet. To really keep that buoyancy in the upper body. When we're ready, cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Send that right foot back to plank. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, bend the knees, send the bottom back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. If you want to move, if you want to ripple, you can. But when you're done, we're going to come into that left side, so floating the left leg up towards the ceiling. Those hips square. If you need the knee down on the floor, you can do this from tabletop. Then exhale as we draw the knee to the nose, flex the foot. Big step forward to the front of the mat, draw that knee down, and those toes can stay tucked or they can untuck, whatever feels good for your lower back, and then swoop the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. So really working and getting into those hips, so opening through the front of the body, so we're stretching the chest and gazing up towards the ceiling. Take the hands down to the floor, fingertips or the blocks, lengthen the left leg. Flex that foot, toes up towards the ceiling, and then draw the left hip back. So as if we're trying to hug that left hip in towards the midline of the belly, the midline of the body. One more breath as we relax down, find that length through the hamstring, that stretch into the lower back. And then we'll make our way, high lunge, so transferring the weight forward, lifting the back knee, the toes tucked, and then reaching the arms up towards the ceiling, relaxing the shoulders. A couple of moments here as we ground down through the feet. We find that openness through the front of the body, and then we draw that right heel down to the mat. If that is uncomfortable, you can stay on that ball of the foot, that is okay. We inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bring the hands behind us again, interlace the fingers. Heels of the hands squeezing, gaze towards the ceiling, open the chest. Then exhale, bow down, shoulders go forward. The left shoulder touch the inside of the left knee. And then we're trying to take the arms up and over the head, so we're stretching the front of the deltoids, the front of the shoulders. Looking towards the heel, the arch of the foot. Fingertips pressing into the knuckles. Again, this moment of gratefulness, of being thankful. Humble warrior. A moment just to gaze in. And slowly uncoil as you release the hands, swoop the arms up to warrior one. And then exhale, corkscrew warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders, spreading the fingers. Coming down as low as you can through that front leg. We'll take 2 breaths, inhaling through the nose. Remember, you can move if you want to. That can be anything you want with the arms. But trying to stay nice and grounded. On the next inhale, cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Send the feet back to plank. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale, ripple back, downward facing dog. 1 breath here, inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out to the mouth. And then draw the knees down again, child's pose just for a moment. Untucking the toes, releasing the forehead. Grabbing some water if you need to, or maybe just rolling the wrists just to give them a little bit of a break. Or if it feels nice, you can take a little wiggle from side to side. Just releasing that lower back. And when you're ready to go again, either leaning back in downward facing dog or tabletop, whatever works for you, whichever position you prefer moving from. When we're there, press the floor away. Lift the right leg, same thing, adding on, bring the knee to the nose, flex the foot, step forward. Lower the knees, spending a little less time in each pose now. Reach the arms up. Relax the shoulders. Take an inhale. Exhale, place the hands down. Lengthen the right leg. So hopefully this should be feeling a little bit easier now. The body being warmer and already been here before. Inhale as we plant the right foot down. Lift the knee, swoop the arms up. The heel of the foot comes straight down to mat, warrior one, hips square. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind. Interlace the fingers, lift the chest, look up. And then exhale, bow down. Arms going up and over the head as we look towards the arch of the foot again. And making our way back to warrior one. So lifting, lengthening, reaching up. Exhaling, warrior two. Good. Relax the shoulders. Lengthen the right leg. Engage the right quadricep. We're going to reach that right arm as far away from you as if you're trying to grab something, but the feet are attached to the floor. And then flip the palm, take the fingers either down to float off the mat or to place on the shin. Or if you've got a block, you can use that. It's trying to squeeze the bottom. Tuck the pelvis under and gaze towards the left hand. If you need to have the knee bent here, then that's okay. But trying to work on lengthening through the lower back rather than sticking the bottom out. One more breath here as we engage quadriceps. Feeling the heat of Trikonasana triangle pose. And then bend the knee. Reach that right arm up towards the ceiling, reverse warrior, feeling that stretch up through the right hand side. Inhale, reach a little taller. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step the foot back, same again, inhale. Exhale, ripple back, downward facing dog. Float the left leg up towards the ceiling wherever you are. Knee to nose, big step forward. Lower the knee, reach the arms. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Place the hands down. Lengthen the left leg, flex the foot, relax the head. Half split again. Getting a little bit easier now, third time round. High lunge, so transferring that weight forward as we lift the back knee. Reach the arms up, swoop the arms up, whoop. And the right heel comes down. Hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, humble warrior, fold forward, arms go up and over. Gazing towards that right arch of the foot. And stay lifted through that arch of the foot, so not collapsing through the inside of that foot. And reaching and releasing up. Swooping the arms, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Lengthen the left leg, trikonasana on the left side. Reach the fingertips as far away from you as you can. Engage that thigh. Then flip the palms, fingertips to the arch. Right arm up towards the ceiling. Tuck the pelvis under. Squeeze the bottom. And you've got those options to bend the knee if you need to. Hand on the floor, block, shin, or if you want that extra challenge, think you can float the fingertips off. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knee. Swoop the left arm back to reverse warrior. Gaze up for the length through the left side of the body. Trying to touch that ceiling. Then return back to warrior two. Continue the cartwheel down to the floor. Step the foot back to plank. Inhale. And then we exhale, swoop the bottom back, downward facing dog. One inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out to the mouth. Lower the knees down to the floor. Untuck the toes, bring the bottom back onto the heels. As we come to sit in kneeling, if this is uncomfortable, then you can stack the hips, that is okay. Then we're going to take the hands to the lower back. Squeeze the elbows, lift the chest, and then just simply look up towards the ceiling. Be squeezing the elbows, fingertips going down towards the floor, down towards the mat. Just finding that opening through the front of the body. It feels nice to maybe see if you can let the head go, drop it back, to look all the way up towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale. Slowly draw the chin back to center. Forehead coming down to the floor as we reach the arms behind you. Take a few moments here, relaxing the elbows, relaxing the shoulders, pressing the forehead into the floor. Again, just coming back to that current of breath. That flow on the inhale, that flow on the exhale. And then we'll do that again, so just slowly rolling up. Option to stay here, to stay kneeling on the bottom onto the heels. We can take the knees a little bit wider as we stack the hips on top of the knees. So find that length through the hips. The hands come back into those denim pockets, fingertips down, squeeze the elbows, squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward, and imagining there's a little hook underneath the chest bone, underneath the sternum. You're going to lift the chest, look up. And then if it feels comfortable to drop the head back, releasing the head. If you do have a full camel practice, then feel free to take the right hand to the right heel, the left hand to the left heel, pressing the hips forward. But that's only if you've been there before. Really trying to send the hips forward. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, begin to lift up wherever you are, bringing the hands back to the lower back if they weren't there. Bottom comes onto the heels. Reach the hands behind you again and then release the forehead into the floor. Just let go, relax, sigh everything out. Camel is one of our biggest back bends in yoga. We're stretching the front of the spine. A lot of the time we do our forward folds, where we stretch the back of the spine, then we tend to feel like we hold the most tension. But when we really open up the front of the body, that's when we feel more energized, more alive, more open. Two more breaths here as we just pull heavy into the mat. And begin to place the hands in front of the head so we can come back out to tabletop. Tucking under the toes, lifting those knees, the bottom goes back, downward facing dog. One sighing breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out to the mouth. Then begin to soften through the legs and then walk the feet into your malasana, your yogic squat. So you take the feet wider than the hands. So you can step, jump or hop. And then bend the knees so the knees go out and the bottom comes down. So a few variations here. I sit here a lot so I can get into it quite easily. But if you find that you're on the balls of your feet, that's okay. Maybe see if you can take a little step wider, or maybe you are up here with the bottom above the knees. Again, that's okay. Another thing you can do is maybe pop a couple of cushions under your bottom, just to support the hips if it feels a bit deep. But place the elbows inside the knees, the hands to prayer, and then lift the chest. This is a good one to maybe sit on your laptop just for 10 minutes a day. Just really getting into the lower back, getting into the hips. Keeping a nice long spine, close the eyes. I'll take 3 releasing breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out to the mouth. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last time, big inhale. Exhale. Take the hands behind you as you guide the bottom down onto the mat. So you may need to wiggle through the feet. And then we'll continue that wide pose. So take the legs out to straddle. Flex the feet. The knees may be bent, that's okay. But then let's walk the hands forward. Release the head. Engage the quadriceps. And relax the shoulders. You may wish to sit on a pillow again, just to elevate the hips to create a little bit more of a tilt forward. If you haven't tried it, I suggest giving it a go. Moments here again, maybe you want to have a little sway. You don't have to stay still in any of these postures. And then slowly walk the hands back towards the pelvis so we can sit up tall. Take the left hand to the side of the left leg, reach that right arm up towards the ceiling and then over away from the body. Maybe you come onto the forearm, maybe you stay on the hand, that is okay. But just play around with that placement of the arm. We're trying to shine the armpit up towards the ceiling as we reach the arm as far away from us as we can. Relax the head. Try and plant that right sit bone into the floor. And then slowly we'll inhale, cartwheel up and over to the other side. So the right hand comes into the floor, the left reaches up and over, shining the armpit up towards the ceiling. Releasing the head. Pressing the heels away from the body. Maybe coming down onto the forearm, the sit bone, still pressing into the mat. One moment here. Then we're going to cartwheel over to the other side again, so moving with the breath. We're going to exhale. And then inhale over to the other side, like a little palm tree. Or as if we've got a scarf in our hands, a football match. Or we're doing the agadoo or the cha-cha slide, whatever you want to do. Just swaying from side to side, engaging the abdominals. But also just lubricating that spine. One more time either side, so we're nice and equal. Don't worry if you forgot which side you started with. And then come to center. Draw the feet in, the knees bend, the soles of the feet into the floor. Reach the arms out in front of you and then slowly, bone by bone, see if you can roll down through the spine, engage in the abdominals. Imagining someone's got a finger, they're trying to poke you in the belly button and you're slowly getting away. Shoulders come down, release the head. Walk the heels in towards the bottom, the backs of the hands into the floor. Engage the glutes. Lift the tailbone as we press into the feet. Rolling up through the spine, through the lower back, the middle back, all the way up to the shoulder blades, the upper back. And then walk the shoulder blades together. Maybe interlace the fingers under the body like we did in Humble Warrior. Reaching the knuckles down towards the heels of the feet as we draw those heels of the hands together. Check the knees aren't splaying out to the side. You're pressing through the big toe, the baby toe, and then lifting through the arch of the foot. One breath here, opening the front of the body, engaging the back of the body. Release the hands slowly, the backs, the hands into the floor, palms open. Tuck under the tailbone and begin to roll down bone by bone. Trying to see if you can get some clicks as we go, until eventually that lower back finds the floor. Take the knees off of the mat, bring the knees in towards the body, flex the feet. We'll go for happy baby, so taking the outside arches of the feet, shining them up towards the ceiling, drawing the knees down into the mat, and then having a little rock, a little roll from side to side. And the head to go with it, massaging that lower back. Another good one to try and fit into your day. So maybe you can just fall from Malasana straight back into happy baby. Just rocking from side to side, massaging those big muscles either side of the spine, and also the head. And then slowly just release the feet. Bring both knees in towards each other. Take the arms out into your aeroplane wings, your bird wings. Palms open towards the ceiling, big inhale. Exhale, allow both knees to fall to the left as we turn the head to the right. Trying to touch the right ear down into the floor. Then close the eyes. Reaching the arms in opposite directions. Feeling that stretch deep into the lower back. Spinal twists are really good to do just to wind down, but also to waken up. So we're just twisting through the spine, opening the front of the body and the back of the body. Just sending little signals to the brain and the brain to the body that it's time to be calm, to relax, to unwind. And in this sense, it's a really good thing to do before we come into any form of Shavasana or relaxation. Take another 3 breaths here, so if you need to pop a pillow between the knees, you can do. Really reaching the arms in opposite directions. And then draw one knee in towards the center of the body, follow it with the other. Big inhale in center. And then exhale, allow both knees to fall down to the right. As we turn the head to the left now. Eyes closed once again. See if you can get the left ear to touch the left side of the mat. Finding what we need to do with the knees, the legs, blocks, pillows, or maybe the arm, the hand. But really trying to let go in that left leg. Stretching the belly, stretching the spine, the chest, the neck. And also those arms in opposite directions. And take 2 more breaths. Really trying to relax the shoulders into the floor. And after that second exhale, bring one knee again and the other into the center of the mat. Give those knees, those legs a big hug. Maybe you draw the forehead towards the knee or you leave the head down on the floor. That is okay. Just have a little rock, a little roll again. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes of freedom here. You can either just make your way into your Shavasana, or you can do whatever stretch, whatever posture is calling you right now, or anything that you had in mind that you wanted to do with this hour. Just taking this 2 minutes to get it out of the way, to get it done, so you feel nice and fulfilled at the end. But whenever you are ready, just coming into your Shavasana, whichever variation is comfortable for you. So that may mean the feet as wide as the mat, so the knees can fall in, or the legs may be long, again as wide as the mat, the heels in this time and the toes together. Or both of those may feel or not feel as comfortable as you wish, then you can lie on the right side of the body. Just a few more moments to do what we need to do. Twists, bridges, full wheels, headstands, or maybe just grabbing a pair of socks. And just thinking about coming into that Shavasana now. As you get there, wherever you are, palms are open towards the ceiling, the shoulders draw together in the back so the chest is open. Eyes float closed. And we'll take one releasing breath, a big inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Again, inhale. And then exhale, let it go. The last time for luck, just inhaling everything you have left. And exhaling, letting it go. Closing the lips. And again, bringing that awareness to the inhale and the exhale. Those two parts of the breath, the in and the out. And just following that for a moment. Maybe the belly rises and the belly falls. Or maybe you feel the back spread into the mat and then slowly lift off. As you draw your awareness to this breath, the inhale and the exhale, notice those little pauses in between. So as you inhale, you naturally pause at the top. And then as you exhale, we naturally pause at the bottom. And then we inhale again, all the way to the top. Pause. And then exhale all the way to the bottom. So it's not a forced pause, it's just a natural pause. Just noticing these 4 points of breath, that cycle, that continuity of the circle breath. Inhale, rolling through the pauses into the exhale. The exhale, rolling through the pauses into the inhale. That can be a clockwise circle or an anti-clockwise. See what feels best for you to visualize. Just reminding ourselves to always ride this wave. This continuous flow of energy, this continuous flow of breath. No matter what we do, no matter where we are, even if we don't feel like we are moving, we are flowing. That breath is always going, it's always cycling. Sometimes that continuous cycle can feel a little overwhelming. That's okay if it does. Just notice how the inhale changes into the exhale. How the exhale changes into the inhale. Yes, there's those pauses in between. Whatever happens, the inhale always changes into the exhale. So again, it may feel like at the moment we're just treading water, waiting for life to go back to the normal that we once knew. But no, like the breath, it always changes. Inhale to exhale, in to out. Just spending a few moments accepting the change, going with the flow. Just finding our own enjoyment within this roller coaster of life at the moment. Stay here a little longer if you wish, or you can begin to deepen the breath. Inhaling through the nose, filling the belly. And just exhaling, letting it go, nose or mouth. Again, inhale. Exhale. Gradually getting deeper. Inhale, changing to the exhale. And then when you're ready, just bringing a little movement back to the toes, the ankles, maybe the knees, and the fingers, the hands, the wrists, the arms, till eventually you feel ready to roll onto the right hand side. The eyes remaining closed, just bringing yourself to that comfortable seated position you began class in. It may be one that was different, you may realise that wasn't so comfortable. But just somewhere you can bring those hands onto the backs of the knees so the palms can be open again. Sitting tall through the crown of the head. Notice how the sit bones, the base of the spine grounds down into the mat. of the spine rises up and out through the crown of the head. Take a moment just to digest everything that's happened on our mat in the last hour. The stretches, the strengthening, the breath, the calmness, the heat, all those little things that have led us to where we are right now. Thanking ourselves for showing up today, for giving ourselves this hour, this time, this space to take on the rest of the day, the rest of the week with an open mind. Just take with us the sense of going with the flow. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart, rubbing the hands gently to create a little bit of heat. Placing those hands a few inches in front of the eyes, allowing them to open, and then bringing the hands to prayer in front of the heart. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have you as always, so I hope to see you next week.